Hey everybody, today we're just going to give you another overview of what we do here. As you can see here on this side, we have units sitting waiting to be shipped. We have trucks that are getting loaded. As you can see on this side, through our racking is other units that are waiting to be shipped, as well as customers that are picked up. So we're going to take you for a quick walk, kind of give you an overview of what we do here. This block here is usually full with our bigger units. Unfortunately, we're a little low on our bigger units right now. And again, trucks loading constantly. If you're here during business hours, this is what it'll look like. We had a fellow leave us a 2-star review because he said he wasn't here when he said we weren't open when he came, but you know, it's during hours, this is what it looks like. So I'm not overly sure how that came about. You can see our attachments. We keep attachments for the 14 series, which fit all the way to the 24s. We have attachments around the corner all the way up to the 70 series, the 30 series, 30 series jackhammers, the bottom of our barn, and I've gone over the bank barn and why it's still here. So I appreciate some of you guys' comments on that. But parts, I mean, all the way up to full engines, we keep in stock. Pumps and other stuff we also keep in stock. So we'll just go down here to the shop. We have a little bit of a slow day in the shop, so it was another good day to give you guys an overview. This block is typically where we keep our stock units. A load there getting ready to go into the shop for assembly. Those units there were there for final inspection. They're now done. And then once we come into the shop, the first bay is parts, pieces, and all the things we do when we assemble the units. It is also parts. I will show you some of the parts run, and I don't have a big, beautiful warehouse, but most of the things here, you guys that know what we're looking at are going to realize that we have enough parts for a pretty large amount of machinery. Here's all your side swing motors, pumps for gas units, pumps for diesel units, 20 carburetors, 20 air filters, oil filters. We have extra curl linkages. We have all of extra cylinders. We have all the extra drive motors. We have all the extra turntables. And all this is here in Pennsylvania. So that's this thing that's what makes us different than going to Alibaba. It is here in Pennsylvania. If it is not here, it takes me about 10 days to get it. But normally, between what we have in the shop, between what we have in the bottom of our building, we do have a large selection of parts available that cross-reference into 90% of what you guys ask for. There might be a small piece here or there that we don't. But the first bay, again, this is usually the parts, bins and so forth that go over all the fittings. This bay is the initial assembly. So we got a young man there still working on booms. They'll put the booms on. They'll lay the lines out. They'll assemble the joysticks, hook up the electric, finish the gauges, finish the pedals. They'll do the pressure settings. They'll do the decals. From there, they'll pick them up, make sure the carburetors and stuff are not jammed or clogged or anything like that, because they do take a ride and they sit in the container for a little while. So we'll let them run for a little bit, make sure they cycle, chokes up and down, make sure all that clears like it should, pick the booms up, install the dippers, run the lines, run the curls, run the buckets, and it's a lot of steps. But again, everybody asks us what makes us different. This is what makes us different. We do it on a larger scale and we put our hands on it. We have 13 mechanics, so it's a constant process of everybody checking each other and making sure we're staying on track. You know, there's not one person that is reliable to do one job, and that's the only person that can do it. And if he misses it, it's done. Everybody double checks everybody. Again, this bay, it's kind of just for today being multi-purpose. Usually this is the bay where if something does need fixed, it'll rotate into this bay and they'll finish touch-up paint. They'll finish minor repairs, major repairs, and so forth. And then around the back, if we end up getting full, which is what happened, we might finish some of the minor stuff out back. So out back today, they are finishing, I think, just some canopies and some gates and some simple stuff. But here's some BH20Ds and some ZH20Ds and some Dash 2s. And then this wraps all the way around. So like I said, this is just something that most people don't realize, that it stretches all the way around and it rotates around the building. And it stays a pretty smooth running process, which gives us the ability to run a lot of volume for the folks that are trying to get their units in, we apologize for the waits, but we're hoping with having the new shop edition and stuff, having a few more guys on, that we can keep up and not tell you guys, yes, you can pre-order, you can pre-order. We're trying to get the stock. We're trying to make sure that you guys can call us and we can give it to you. And I'm not going to guarantee that's always the case, because right now Kubota is short on engines. There's some other shortages going on, which is delaying some of our builds. But for the most part, we've ordered enough, we built enough that we should be getting ahead of that very soon. We'll rotate up here. I want to show you one of my new units real quick while you guys are watching. This is the BH14G Pro. I will do a full video on this then, but I was really happy how it turned out. So it's got a counterweight. It is actually molded counterweight. It has an actual pop-open gate. So those gas units, if you look at all the other gas units, you got to take the back off or whatever. This has an actual gate that opens. It's got the sound guard on it, heat guard. It's also got a USB port. I mean, this one goes into a little bit more luxury in the unit. So you got your USB port, you got your digital gauge, you got your heavy ROPS, you got your poly-molded canopy, and still a gas unit. It is a very strong little unit. Those of you that are not experienced, because again, everybody says about is it machine jerky or is it the operator? This machine does have a larger pump and it has larger outlets inside. That's also something else that makes us a little bit different. So when I go into the shop and someone calls me and they need something, and they're telling me maybe they have a leak or they're asking for an extra part, my guys or myself can go over this unit, usually by memory anymore, because we do it from this degree. I can tell you that the tracks are the same as a Kubota KX008 in our 1-ton and all of our gas units. I can tell you that it's an M18 to an M14 adapter until you get to the thumb. Then it's an M18 to M16 on the triple diverters. I can tell you the threading for the joysticks. I can tell you the carburetor. I mean, there's a lot of this is by memory anymore, because we go a little bit above where everybody else just buys something off Alibaba and they bring it in and they hope they get what they ordered. And that's the other part. You know, people ask why go with GroundHog versus Alibaba or one of the other guys out there. Well, this is part of it, where most people just bring them in fully assembled. They don't touch them. They throw some stickers on, they're done. That's not what we do. We make sure we bring them in parts so that we do touch them. That way, by operating them from here to there, from there to there, we get the ability to check them some, make sure they're fluid, make sure that they're not overloading the hydraulics, make sure they're not overloading the valves, making sure no relief valves are packing or holding up. So that's what makes us different, in my opinion. Again, I'm going to get some hate on that, I'm sure, but you know, that to each his own. As I say in all the videos, if you need Kubota, if you need Bobcat, I do suggest you buy them. They're great brands. They're great machines. These are made to be a simple machine. We're made to be that option that you don't got to deal with China. We're made to be that option that me and you are talking. Yes, our phone rings a lot. Sometimes we miss some calls because I don't have a 30-person office staff. You know, I could easily hire 5 more people and charge more for the machinery, but that's not how we like to operate. We try to keep it at a base. And as we grow, we add that. So we added the mechanics initially. We have added 2 more ladies in the office to try to accumulate some of that call volume to get picked up immediately. So those of you that we missed, we apologize. We just wanted to give you a quick overview, showing you what does make us different from one company to the other. And as we pan around, we see dumpers, we see BH14Gs, BH14G-2s, some KH14G-2s, some BH20Ds, some ZH20Ds, some BH24Ds. And most of this has come in the last 5 days. We had 5 loads caught up at customs for 4 weeks. That has cost us $32,000. So again, some of you guys ask, why go and not just do it myself? We just paid $32,000 for fees because customs held our containers. They did an intensive exam, which was $9,700, and then the holding was $32,000, and then the dock trace. So they did a dock trace where they go through your documents, make sure all your tariff is correct, make sure all of your information you provided them is correct, make sure your load is correct, make sure the items on your load are correct. They go back through the channeling of the plant who built it. They check for slave labor. They check for all kinds of things that if you get dinged on it, you either don't get your unit or you pay a huge fine. So another one of them reasons why I think going with us takes some headaches out. Sometimes we may tell you that there's a wait or something, but again, we're taking care of that entire process. So even if you've ordered the machine and there is a wait, we're taking care of the entire process from there to here to finish to you. So if something goes wrong, you don't have to get on WhatsApp and try to contact someone 12 hours behind you. You call us, leave us a message if we don't answer. That's the other thing. Communication is what our dings are on Google. If you look up our reviews, the only few reviews we have that are bad is communication. We apologize for that again. Usually if you leave us a message, you get a call in 24 hours. If you leave us 2 messages and we see a repetitive number and we recognize that we see a repetitive number, someone will come get me if they can't answer that question, or they'll get one of the mechanics if they can't answer that question, because obviously the office girls don't know everything when it comes to these. So sometimes they have to relay that information to the customer. But if you leave us a message, we will get back to you. I don't know that maybe 1 out of 500 will miss, but for the most part, we'll get a hold of you. We appreciate everybody watching. We just want to, again, give you a quick overview. We're very happy with the customer base. We're very happy with you guys keeping track of us. And, you know, again, there's going to be some folks that have their 2 cents to throw in. So be it. Throw your 2 cents in. I don't care. We're doing the best we can as human beings. These guys are doing the best they can to make you a product that you can get on and work at a much lower price. We'll catch everybody later. Give us a call if you're interested. 570-765-9338. Thank you for watching.